You know, I've been asking myself the tough questions the last couple months, kid. I am Eric Emanuel. That's double E. You're going to enunciate that E, Eric, and God damn it, Emanuel. Listen, I know what excursion feels like now. Do you know what the word excursion means? If you're a fan of wrestling in Japan, excursion is where they yeet you somewhere. They say, we don't need you anymore. Go hone your craft for like 90 days in Mexico, in the U.S., in wherever they send people on excursions. Well, listen, it's not technically an excursion because I was broken up with and that relationship is over. But I felt like I went on an excursion. Listen, my whole life, because I'm a wrestling fan, I paid attention to things differently. And it's actually kind of amazing on my dad's deathbed. When I actually got to talk to my dad about wrestling, I thought my dad was the idiot because he would call me, genuinely, saying, Eric, is that thing with Cena real? I thought my dad, my entire life, was so dumb when it came to wrestling. I thought my dad was the stereotypical wrestling fan who believed it's real. You know what I mean? But it was on my dad's deathbed that, like, you actually got to hear him talk. And my dad would be like, oh, God, no, Eric. You should watch Dusty Rhodes versus Nick Bockwinkel. It's a power structure. Nick Bockwinkel's got the police on his side, the referee. And my dad goes into the intricate psychology details of this damn match from memory. My dad has not seen this match in 20 plus years. I go and watch Dusty Rhodes versus Nick Bockwinkel. I've talked about it here in the last year. And I'll be damned if it isn't Nick Bockwinkel as the champion using the police to protect him, and then when they're distracted, screw over Dusty Rhodes. The same way Cody Rhodes can't finish the story. And that's when you realize that the people in your life, maybe they're just misunderstood. Maybe those people in your life that you're too busy caught up in chasing your own dreams are actually pretty amazing people. They have a lot to offer. Maybe those people that you keep discounting because you go, same destructive patterns. Look, Eric can't focus or get stuff done. Oh, so yeah, let's just yeet him away and just go, well, if you're not going to play by our rules, we're not going to talk to you. Really? That's what you do to people? That doesn't seem right to me. I've been a people person my entire life like my father. My father just wanted to be the guy showing up at the diner at 6, 7 a.m. and sitting with a group of guys. You want to know the punchline to that? My dad wanted to fit in so bad. So bad. Kind of like me. Maybe like DPW. But I know I don't belong in DPW right now. I didn't back then because I lived out here and it was too expensive to fly and my life wasn't in order. So I remember telling Tony Pizza Guy, bro, I really appreciate the nepotism booking, but you know you guys are never going to be able to afford to bring me out again. At least at the startup, because I'm a business-minded person. I didn't take it personally, but I was a little hurt. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, these are my friends' promotions. But I'm also the guy that when I ring announced, I genuinely have wanted to sing and ring announce and be a radio announcer my entire life. But my sciatica and herniated disc causes me to fluctuate my voice. Now, if you're a singer, you know the diaphragm and diaphragmatic breathing and support is key. So if you're announcing somebody to the ring like I used to when I used to try to make my voice deeper, making his way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And I'm able to regulate that now. This is what it sounded like at DPW. On his way to the ring. Because I wasn't modulating my voice like I am now. See, even I just started doing it. I didn't want to be a ring announcer. I wanted to fill. That's what I wanted to do. And my friends were like, no, you're better than behind a camera. At least that's what I'm going to assume they were like. No, bro, you're so amazing. You're fantastic. You went from 500 to, look at you, Eric, you're 233. I mean, Paul's put in a lot of work to you. We kind of want to put you on camera. We don't want you behind the camera. And then I went, damn. And then DJ Tony D, probably one of the most talented people in the video game. Shoot Harry, all those guys, camera people. I need a camera person. Eating 96.4 beef in the gym, getting jacked. Listen, just because I want to make documentaries and movies, I should not have put that as my red line. Like, just let me do what I want to do. Because when I showed up, I was a team player. I was the guy that went and got all the stuff. That's what my dad was. He was a team player to the team. He found his team and he was trying to stay loyal. And the punchline to that, trying to get into the group, was all those times my dad would go to the diner, it turned out that was Bible study. That was just a bunch of guys trying to get away from their women, and none of them put their Bibles on the desk. Think about that. My dad, they got me. My only first ever real serious girlfriend back in college. And by the way, I didn't even approach her. It took all of her friends coming up to me being like, you know she likes you. And I'm like, no, actually, I had no idea. I'm just in class. I was flirting with her? Oh, I'm an overweight dude. Clearly, why would anybody want me? And then you find out when you're that overweight kid, your entire life, there's like 10 girls that were like, you were so funny and you were there. And why didn't you ever ask me out? I had a crush on you. Because I was 300 pounds. What do you mean, why didn't I ask you out? I had man titties. What am I going to do for you? And then she's like, well, you're caring and you're thoughtful and you bring stuff and you're like there for me. And I'm like, oh, that's what women want. And then I find that woman. And then I'm so caught up in my head with a job. Like my father was. My father just wanted to break out. He worked for a bunch of shitty people his entire life. People that didn't do it right. That stole off the top. People that lied to businesses in video game industry. And my dad just wanted to bet on himself, to put money in the table and to start his own company. And when he told me that on his deathbed, I just wanted $5,000 to start my own company. My dad, like me, then went to everybody that offered him a job, hoping it was going to like change his life. Like, oh, Mark's got some video games. If you go work for him, he'll let you build up some of your own, kind of like a Ponzi scheme. My dad fixed jukeboxes, pokers, things like that in bars. And he grew up with professional wrestling, the AWA, Vern Greg Gagne. And growing up my entire life, I just watched dudes eat food, crap on yoga, do everything that's bad, but they would be stiff, they would be sore, they would get abusive, drunk, they would hit women, they would just do terrible behaviors. I refuse to do that. I am Eric Emanuel. If you are a sad boy and you got your heart broken, follow me to the promised land. I spent 3 months figuring myself out, and I want to share the message. Subscribe for more.